Don't buy PlayStation. Like, PlayStation pack of fucking morons. Um, I literally was just in the PSN store, backed out, you can push circle, back out of the store, and I got this screen. This isn't it, this is the closest I can get to recreating it. Black screen. These idiots, the PlayStation 4 console has been out for how many years? How many generations have Sony made a PlayStation console? How badly do they want us to buy a PS5? And yet just backing out of the PlayStation Store, I got a black screen. And for people who don't have a PlayStation and don't know the ineptitude of the people who make the operating system at Sony, blue screens are like, it's common knowledge for any PlayStation user. You will get a blue screen. If you don't get a blue screen within 2 days, you're having a good stint. Anyone who plays on PC or Xbox, it's a soft crash. It's when the system goes, "Oop, something went wrong," brings up the screen. PCs have a similar issue. They bring up a thing, something went wrong, and you can report it and shit like that. That's a blue screen. It's almost guaranteed. Every couple of days you get a blue screen, at least. At least. But those you can continue on because the screen kicks back in, it turns blue, comes up, oh, something wrong. Then it gives you two options, two squares. Suggestions or suggested actions, which are useless because suggesting stuff to us when it's your OS that is fucked is nothing. And then it's got report. So I report it. I always report it and tell them to fix their shit OS. Try fixing your shit OS. Your OS is shit. Try fixing it. Something along those lines. But when you get a black screen, it literally just sits like this. Ignore the little imp floating around because I'm in dreams because it's the only way I can show what happens. Pushing the PlayStation button, nothing. Pushing the options button, nothing. Share button, nothing. Or every button on the console, on the controller does nothing. You go over to the console itself, press and hold the power button, nothing happens. The system, the whole console does not respond whatsoever. It does nothing. The only way to get any response out of the console is to unplug it. So it's bad enough that a how old OS has this issue of black screens. But then, in their infinite moronicism, they've gone, oh, we're going to make everything super dependent on everything else. And I say, unplugging it, when you plug it back in, it has it has a seizure. It goes, oh, you shut us down incorrectly. We've got to check shit. And it took about 10 minutes to boot up. Because it's got to check bullshit. Then once it's done that, you get the little error thing. Oh, you shut down the console incorrectly. Oh, there's an error in the external hard drive. Oh, we're going to check that. We're going to rebuild your shit. Then it takes another it took half an hour. From black screen to getting back on again. Half an hour of bullshit. All because the idiots that work at Sony couldn't code their way out of a wet paper bag. Dude, a paper bag has an opening at one end. Just go out the opening. The Nintendo Switch, all the Segas, all the Microsofts, so all the Xboxes and PCs, all the Apple products. I don't think I've ever heard of anyone fairly regularly getting black screens, let alone blue screens. And the fact that there's a term for them, black screen and blue screen, shows you how bad it is. I believe the PC has a similar issue and they do call it a blue screen as well. But the fact that a console user has to deal with that bullshit, because a PC has, I want to take a guess here, a million different processors, a million different graphics cards, a million different sound cards, a million different this, a million different that. If you put two of the ones that are incompatible together, issues can happen. A console is designed so that each piece is plugged into each other is meant for being plugged into each other. So it's not the software, it's not the hardware, it's the software. It is the coding that is screwed. The fact that backing out of a place of purchase, all I was doing was seeing if a particular game was available, and as I was backing out, I got that without the imp. So you don't see the little red thing in the middle, you just see black screen. Push all your buttons, nothing. Sit here for 10 minutes, nothing. You sit there and you go, well, fuck me, it's not a blue screen, it's a black screen. I have to now go over to my console, unplug the power cable because the power button doesn't do anything, because they're idiots. Like a smart person, like someone with more than 2 IQ, would go, okay, if there's an issue, if you press the power button for 5 to 10 seconds, it'll do a proper shutdown, and then a reboot. But no, Sony in their moronicism, we've gone, nah, let's not put any of these safeguards in it. When you black screen, you're fucked. You have to unplug it, and then it's going to have a mental seizure going, oh my god, you unplugged it, you didn't shut it down correctly. Well, it's a bit hard to shut it down correctly when there's no way to shut it down correctly. Like, is there not one single person on the planet that works at Sony that has intelligence enough to go, if this happens, let's have a way to, fix it? Or even better, let's not have it happen. The Xbox doesn't black screen. PCs don't black screens. Tablets, Nintendos, Segas, cheap $5 Chinese freaking knockoff consoles, they don't black screen. Emulators don't black screen. It's like only the Sony PlayStation, only that black screens. And for a purpose-built pairing of hardwares, it's a little hard to believe that the software is that screwed that it black screens. It should not. You should never get a black screen, never. But yet, if you don't get a black screen on the console, this is technically in the last 2 months, 3 months, this is the first black screen I've had. But blue screens, I'll get them fairly regular. Like, if I don't get a blue screen in a week, I'm sitting there going, well, it's overdue. It's like living next to a volcano. If you don't see a little bit of lava spluting out, it's like, oh, what's going to happen? Is it going to freaking absolutely crash on me? Or blow the top, or whatever you want to call it? In this case, it's, okay, it hasn't blue screened in a while. Am I going to black screen? But you get them both on the Sony. You get the blue screens regularly, like really regular. Like as I was saying, if you don't get a blue screen within 2 days, you're having a good stint. So for all the PC users out there, imagine that you know for a fact that your graphics card, your sound card, your motherboard, all this sort of stuff is 100% compatible. The Windows or the Apple driver that's in it is 100% compatible with those devices. I'm not going into the fact that Apple is a PC. You know, PC is personal computer, and Apple is a personal computer. So if you're going to say PC and Apple, don't say that. Say Apple and Windows, or PC is both. But let's get off the point. If you own a PC and you know it's all compatible, you'll never get a black screen. You'll never get to the situation where you have to unplug your computer and plug it back in. Unless you get a virus, nothing even close to that will happen. Blue screens, yeah, if you're playing a game and the game does something to this and this doesn't like it, you could get a blue screen. But black screens, no. It's unheard of nowadays. Because people know ones and zeros. And obviously Sony don't. So all I can say is don't buy a PlayStation. If you're new to consoles, or you're looking to upgrade or whatever, it's like, as much as I dislike the fact that Microsoft screwed me over with their Xbox Live service, their console, the Xbox console, is 1,000,000% better. Very rarely will you get a crash on that console. You get soft crashes like the game crashes or something like that, but the console itself crashing, it very rarely will happen. My Xbox One and 360s and stuff like that. Hell, my original Xbox and my Xbox 360, I never got a crash. Once in a blue moon, the game would go, ooh, something went wrong, and it'll shut down. Once in a blue moon, maybe once every 6 months. On the PlayStation, no, hell no. Once every couple of days. And then you get the black screens. I have, out of all my years of PC using, console using, all that sort of shit, I think I've had a total of one actual like black screen situation on my PC, and it was, I believe, virus related. And that was like years ago. I'm talking 15, 20 years ago. I'm talking like Windows 95 type thing, like that long ago. So the fact that Sony PlayStation, with their how many years of doing technology in computing and chips and that sort of shit, they still have a black screen situation. And Sony, if you watch this and go, stop bad mouthing, stop bad, here's an idea. Do you remember the PlayStation 2? When you pressed the power button, how it turned it off. The PlayStation 1, when you pushed the power button, it turned it off. I can't vouch for the PlayStation 3 because I never had one of those. But even if it's in a black screen situation, when you press the power button, it does a shutdown. Then you can press the power button again, or even better, do what they do on the PCs, well, they used to at least, have a little button you could push to do a restart. So when you have an issue, you push that button, it does a safe shutdown and a safe reboot, and it goes. Instead of having your idiotic, moronic, dumbass, friggin' crappy system you got now where, I want to back out of a marketplace, a gaming purchasing location, opening up your dashboard. Oh, we can't handle that. We better black screen. Oh, now that you've black screened, you can't do jack shit. Power button doesn't respond. Disk eject doesn't respond. Nothing on the controller, nothing responds. And unplugging it says, oh, you shut it down incorrectly. Well, give us a way to correctly shut it down when it black screens. Or don't let it black screen. There's an idea, dickheads. Okay, I'm out of here. Stay safe unless you work at Sony or CDPR. Catch you next time. See yous.